Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Morning Digest this beautiful Thursday. It is the day that the Lord has made. We rejoice and be glad in it. Welcome to Elevate TV, where we advance kingdom lifestyle. I'm your host this morning, Esther Wangechi, and I bless the Lord. And this morning, my dear viewers, we are looking at normalizing menstruation. Are you aware that on 28th May, there will be a celebration of menstrual hygiene day on Sunday? And that is why today we want to look at how can we normalize menstruation to make it a fact of life and avoid victimizing those who are having it, and taboos and stigma. And my guest this morning, I'm glad to be joined by a wonderful woman. She is the founder and director of Ahadi reusable pads, and she's going to tell us more about even the day itself, the menstrual hygiene day, or what it is all about. She's going to talk to us about normalizing menstruation. And as I've said, she is Bethsheba Otuga. Karibu sana.
Asante.
It is good to have you. And I know we are looking at a very interesting topic, but I thank God we are women. But I know there is the need for the awareness to be made even towards men and boys, and I know you do this. But before we continue, kindly introduce yourself and karibu to the show.
Thank you very much, my host.
Yeah.
As you've heard, my name is Bethsheba Otuga. I'm also called Beth in short. I founded Ahadi reusable pads in 2019.
Okay.
Then Corona came, but the Lord helps us, and we came through. You can see we are here. One of the main reasons why I started this is I had experiences myself with my menses. To manage them was quite a feat, especially when I was young and in school. In those days, we stayed in Eastlands. My parents could hardly get us through education, and menstruation was such a taboo thing that we didn't discuss about it easily. I don't remember me and my sisters saying anything about menstruation, but I remember my elder sister used to have cramps and she used to be sick, but I never understood and nobody explained to us. So coming on, I found that I needed to do something, not only for the community at that time, but to help myself. Okay. I got many embarrassing moments, but one major one, when I was in the reading room in the estate, we used to go to do evening studies at a local church. So I sat down and I was reading, and I took my books to go home, and lo and behold, a pool of blood was under my chair.
Wow.
Shame, stigma, embarrassment, you can name them. And that is what happens commonly. Through the course of my work in the last few years that has been in this space, I have found that that is really a challenge. And so that's why I find that it is so important to discuss the topic we are discussing today. You talked about the boys and the men. These people should be involved. Because the women are their sisters, the women are their girlfriends. Wengine wako na mpango wa kando. And some have wives. And so it's an integral part of life. Without menstruation, as we know, God created the earth. He said, be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. How are we going to fill the earth if we keep on shying away from the issues that would help us propagate this life? So that is why I'm in this space, and I'm very happy to be here to discuss this wonderful topic.
It's good to have you, and I am amazed at what you said about what actually led you to, starting the Ahadi foundation, where
reusable pads.
Ahadi reusable pads. And I also remember, I was thinking about it, that back in the days, you could tell a girl who is having menstruation in school, because one of the things that a girl used to do is we used to tie a sweater, unajifunga, so that one, you're afraid of any leaks coming out. And I think because of lack of proper training, we used to think that everybody is now aware that you're having your menses. And I must commend you for what you're doing, and especially speaking this topic that people don't talk about. As you started by saying, even nobody talked about it. No, and even now, probably there are people who are not talking about it. So back to our topic, normalizing menstruation. How are we going to do that?
We start by talking about it so that people know that this is a fact of life. Once you've started talking about it, we are making noise about it, we're involving everybody, so that they know that it is normal. When I came in and were being served here, I asked, could I have tea? But isn't that normal?
It is.
After tea, what do? You go and take out. In the same way the body works, as a woman will have her menstrual cycle. And many people don't know this. I was in a show yesterday where one of the participants was saying that kwani huwezi shikilia, you can't hold the menses from coming out, the blood flow. But the blood just flows automatically on its own. When your time comes, it just comes out. And then when it stops, it stops. So it is upon us to make people know that this is something that just happens. They don't know. They really don't know. And especially the men. And so to normalize it, one of the major things that we need to do, as we have talked about it, we need to educate people. It's very easy if we started at an early age. But right now, I come into a school and they want me to talk to the girls. The boys are told to go kando, outside. But I tell them, no, we are going to have a class together. You're going to know, because this is just like going for a short call of nature or even a long call of nature. So you don't need to be afraid or embarrassed about it. So I talk to them. They start by sharing, but one day in one class I asked them, how many of you would like to be fathers one day? All of them wanted to be fathers, and mothers too. So I told them, you cannot be a father if you don't have a wife, and if your wife is not menstruating. If your wife is not menstruating, it's a big deal. That is a sickness. So they come together and they start just getting comfortable with the topic. So we teach them, they ask questions, and I tell them, these are your sisters, but they'll turn to be your wives. So you should not be afraid of them, you should help them. Because there are many other things apart from the flow. People go through different experiences. For some it's very painful and it takes long. Some others you can hardly notice. Like for me, I could hardly notice that my periods are on. I could not know when I'm ovulating. Many people, it's just a distinct experience that they're ovulating. Then after ovulation, the egg is not fertilized, it flows out. So everybody needs to know. In them days, I think our grandmothers, they didn't have better protection. They just used to sit behind the house for the period. And they used to go a lot. Some got infections. It's just by grace that some of us were born from those relationships. So it is something that should be discussed as openly as possible. So that there's nothing about shame. There's nothing about being stigmatized. There's nothing about it. It's a beautiful experience. Blood is pure. And so let's just embrace the whole experience and the whole idea.
I think I'm thinking about when you talk about the awareness, creating awareness and the education. I'm curious, when you in a normal setup, just out of curiosity, and boys are in this class, what do you really tell the boys to in terms of now when you're talking about the menstruation and you've told them stay in the class so that you can also learn. You've told them that this will be your wives. How do you really train them? What should they handle? What should they do when they see these girls menstruating? Or it's just basic knowledge?
Basic knowledge plus making it practical. When I was in school, we learned about biology and the issue of pregnancy and all that. But when I became pregnant, it was a different idea because, I mean, me being pregnant and the thing were two different things. So even these children, they should know that it is a real integral part of life. It is not a theory that happens to other people. It happens to me, it happens to you. So when they come in the class, we tell them the real facts about it. Some of them have already learned through science in primary school, biology in secondary school. So it's just putting the knowledge to action, so to speak. And then there is nothing for them to fear. It is a class. It is a lesson, like any other. If you're teaching about electricity, you give relevant examples. If you're talking about body functions, then you give the relevant examples.
I'm thinking about parents, because I remember, like, I personally growing up, when that topic came up, and the first time I had it from a neighbor's house help, and it was not very, my experience was not good. And I remember we were just a couple of us seated, and she started telling us what it is and even showing us what to do. And for me, I perceived it to be actually, I thought she was sick because of the age that I was and where I was getting this enlightenment from. And so what would your advice be to parents?
Parents also are shy. And because this was not something that was talked about openly, it was a taboo topic.
Yeah.
Women were segregated and they were considered dirty. Those social and cultural barriers that put down women.
Yeah.
So as we are growing up, so to speak, we are becoming enlightened.
Yeah.
We are talking about it openly.
Yeah.
I never had my parents speak about it.
Yeah.
But me, I talked to my daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter once asked me, how is a child born?
Wow.
And I'd heard some people say that you just start with animals because you have to tell them the truth, but at their level.
Yeah.
So I asked them, we had seen a documentary. It's just when you see the same way, a baby dog or animals, we see those documentaries like Natural, Wild West,
Yeah.
in the same way. So after she gets the initial shock, then you tell her, from below here, and you know we don't call those things by their real names because we are
We are ashamed.
we are ashamed.
Yeah.
So that is where the shame comes in.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they are private parts. Semunyeti. If you
Yeah.
hear about Semunyeti, you don't want to mention their names.
Yes.
And in the same way, girls are afraid to go and buy pads, even panties. My husband could not walk near a panty shop with me because he's afraid. They are ashamed. Those are women things. So we just need to tell them this is a panty,
Yeah.
this is a pad,
Yeah.
and this is how to use it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Wow.
We just call a spade in this one, and that will remove this.
Yeah.
A lady member of parliament was telling us yesterday that in the parliament, people tell them, I'll support you, lakini usiseme jina yangu. Because of how we are brought up.
Yeah.
But as we begin talking, let me tell you one thing about the CBC. It's
Yeah.
called CBC. CBC don't have subjects. They have sessions.
Yeah.
So they will start very early and it will grow until everybody is just, this is, let's take a cup of tea, or do you have some pads?
Yeah.
We are doing pads banks everywhere. That's a new phenomenon that is coming out sooner or later.
Yeah.
Because of United Nations SDG goals,
Yeah.
number 5, it wants us to have equity. If we are treating the men well, the same treatment for the women.
Exactly.
Women should have access. Number 6, we should have access to water and sanitation.
Yeah.
It should become commonplace. There's a lot of talk and legislation in the government concerning this, but the rubber meets the road and nothing is happening.
Yeah.
So when we come to spaces like this, we tell them, don't be afraid, come near us.
Yeah.
This is a tampon, this is a condom, this is a reusable pad.
Yeah.
And so let's just make them easy to access.
Yeah.
In shops in Ushago, we were having an outreach. I had carried 100 pads. So we needed more. And we said we'll give them the one-time use.
Yeah.
We looked in the village shops, nothing. In the market, nothing. Until to a bigger town. And at that we got only like 50 packets from a wholesaler. Because hata hao wanaogopa kustock hizo vitu. Wanafikiria ni zile vitu. They're not zile vitu. They're just interventions for us to be comfortable and to go through our menses in a dignified way. And that is why we want people to know that this is a normal thing. It is a day-to-day thing. I believe if this room was full, we could have enough people, girls and women menstruating. And there's nothing to be ashamed about so long as you take care of yourself well, hygienically and moderately.
I am amazed at what you're talking about because I came through a study, I think it had been done by Al Jazeera some time back, where they were saying that in Kenya specifically, there's what they called as period poverty. And they said that girls miss classes 4 to 5 days. Girls drop out of class because of menstruation. And listening to you, I want to believe you're attributing this to lack of pads. So now, can you tell us exactly what are you doing yourself?
I'll start by saying what period poverty is.
Yes.
Period poverty is lack of funds to some extent. So when you are period poverty, you can't afford pads. You cannot afford sufficient protection, hygienic, and easily.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're already poor from before. But I'll tell you, free of charge, Kenya is advanced. They just used Kenya as an example. Kenya is way ahead, but we are not yet there.
Yeah.
In the rural areas, you see, because of that poverty mentality or poverty itself, I'm a shopkeeper, isn't it? Why should I bring 100 packets of pads and nobody will come to buy because they are not affordable? Leave alone accessibility. Yeah, so that makes them inaccessible.
Yeah.
And also, they're not quick goods. I want to make money and go home, but here I am, I'm stuck with so many.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that has led to so many, that school dropout, missing. A normal period takes 5 days, but it can go up to 7. Can go. Some people just have a short one, 1 day or 2. And some are heavy, some are light flow. And so if you cannot afford the pads, you will not stay in school. You will stay at home using things that, and if you're poor, you don't even have the rags. Because which mother will give you a leso, ukatekate, utumie. Hata yeye hana hiyo leso. So they don't even have uniform. I was in Ukwala the other day. You see girls walking in patipatis that are torn. You see girls walking with holes in their skirts. And like, if you had new shoes, new dress, new everything, you look like you're proud. You know that thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
So now, talking of rags and what you're saying, the lesos and all that, are they healthy? When we talk about now the day of on 28th, where we are celebrating the menstrual hygiene day, what is really this hygiene? What are they talking about? What are they advocating for? Yeah.
The leso can be hygienic.
Yeah.
If it can be well washed, dried, can be reused. That's where I got my concept from.
Yeah.
Because at one point when I was so heavy, I couldn't afford the pads myself. I was 3 packets.
Yeah.
So I started using the available like towels. I would cut up and use. T-shirts, cut up and use. But I used to dispose. But I later on got the idea that I can stitch it into something. So if it is stitched into something, it is well kept, then it is safe. And we have different types of pads that are washable. And other organizations too are putting. So when we're talking about safe and we're talking about hygienic, then it means if we're using washable ones, we should be able to wash them, dry them out in the sun, and reuse. But again, we have that issue of stigma. Do women hang out their panties?
Really, in different places.
Yes, but now we are telling them that there's no shame, they're just your clothes, hang them. One little girl yesterday, we were doing a documentary, and I asked her, how is your experience? She told me, awesome. I said, okay. I was taken aback because we had donated pads to that school. And
she's using the
she's using ones. She's using those ones.
I have a question, Madam Beth. I'm thinking the woman in me, and because I haven't seen the reusable ones, I hope you have one.
I have.
You will show us.
Yes.
I'm thinking about when it soaks and it gets wet, and the issue of getting the rash, and maybe it leaks, you know. How is it? Probably.
Ours don't leak because our pads are made in 4 layers. You have the top layer that goes next to the skin, which is very soft. It's a fleece material. Then we have the soaker. So it soaks. Behind the soaker, it's a cotton, let me call it material. It's a nice cotton material that absorbs. And you know, there's some materials that absorb and pass through. This one retains kidogo, unless it is really full, then it can flow. Then we also have a 4th lining, which is a sheath that is waterproof. Then we have a lining to cover. So the pads are quite cute, by the way. I don't know, I didn't bring one here, but I have one over there.
You will show us in the second half. So we are looking at the menstrual hygiene management, and I'm really thinking about the girls in high school.
Yes.
And the fact that now we are aware there are girls who drop out because of menses and they don't have the pads. in your organization, and what do you think the government should do to these schools? You talked about a bank. You called it a sanitary
bank, pads bank.
Yeah, pads bank. And you said that we are not there yet. Now, thinking about how the schools can be helped, or these communities can be helped, what is your view on that?
They should be helped. There are some legislations that I may not give you details about.
Yeah.
There are some laws that have been passed, yeah? And one of the biggest one is that they've reduced tax on sanitary pads so that they can become cheaper.
Yeah.
But that's a whole big topic that I may not get into.
Yeah.
But we find that as Ahadi, we partner with organizations that ascribe to our idea, and we have the same ideology. They want to help girls. They want them to stay in school. They want their health to improve. And so we partner with them. They donate. They come and buy from us. We are an enterprise, a social enterprise, because we are meeting the needs of the community. So they partner with us, and they come and buy pads from us. I have a few. So one of our appeal, we are also having a launch on 26th. And one of our appeal is for like-minded to come and partner with us and buy. We can partner with the government, the local authority, city council, or Nairobi County Council, NGOs, self-help groups, private companies that have SCR or CSR, which one is the community social responsibility. So when those people come and they're aware and they want to do something, then we are available to provide.
I'm thinking we move slightly a bit from the pads, and we look at the person, the woman. Because also hygiene is not only what they are using. And I'm thinking about the mindset of this woman also. Because as much as there's the stigma outside, what of myself? You know, the person themselves. And there's what we call period mourning, you know. We are so, I think even the women themselves are not really embracing the aspect of this nature, you know, life cycle. What would your view be on that?
They've already been depressed by what is going around. Let's say you're a Muslim. You cannot go to the temple because of the social norms, cultural taboos, and things that beat down women. So a woman would feel dirty because the society thinks that you're dirty, and you're not. Before even, I think we could not go to school, we could stay at home those days. Before, people could not go to church, you see? And if you're in your periods, your parents tell you stay at your uncle's place. Because of those. So with education and with this exposure, we find that you are just as normal, apart from the things that you go through like cramps, headache, you feel feverish sometimes. And so we train and teach and tell the girls, if you're feeling this way, this. But again, personal hygiene is a personal thing. Some people, hawapendi kuoga. Lakini you must oga. We tell them you must oga. And in places where there's little water, we advise on short baths. We have flannels with our products. We teach them how to use the flannel, clean yourself, and then you remain very clean. And this will enable you not to get other infections. Apart from what you already have, it's enough. So you don't need to be infected. And so also you have to work on your self-esteem. If you have come from that background, and now you're hearing that it is not as you thought, then you also change your mind.
You know, listening to you, I'm really getting that there's a lot of cultural taboo when it comes to menses. And, you know, I'm reminded of the woman in the Bible, the woman who had the issue of blood for 12 years. And probably that is why she couldn't even want to get near Jesus. She only had to touch the hem of his garment. And listening to you, I'm just getting to realize and acknowledge that, you know, this thing is an issue. It is an issue. But I'm also thinking about the women mindset. When I talk about the mourning, and probably it might come from what you're saying. We are also not positive about this whole thing happening to us.
Because we've been put down.
Yes.
We've been told it is not good, so you're like, this thing again. Now it has come. I used to wish that I would not be having periods myself.
Yeah.
But right now I don't have them, and I'm so happy and comfortable.
I remember somebody telling me, oh, isn't there an injection that the doctors can inject you so that these things just stop coming again? And you know, there's that thing when they come, every woman says, again.
Yes,
tomorrow
again.
maybe it's my wedding day, or I have this event. Now, because you are rejoicing, you're not getting them.
No,
How
but
can
because
we-
I've already gone through my circle, you know, there's menac,
Yeah.
first period, menopause, stopping. It's only, I mean, menopause.
It has stopped. So now tell us, how can we change our mindset to be positive about it? We don't have to complain and look at it like, oh God, why did you create me like this? You know, we've even had cases where one particular girl, but that one was coming from the point of lack. She was saying, I wish I was a boy,
True.
that I don't have to get this. So deal with our mind first. How can we embrace this before we take a break?
Shule tu, masomo.
Yeah,
Just that. Because education will help you change your mind and attitude.
yeah.
When you're playing and you're talking to your friends, actually, I had a niece whom they were taught something, and they were given some pads, and she used to just walk out with them like this. And every time she was asking my mom, when will I start? When will I start? So we have to tell them it's a beautiful thing and you should start.
Wow.
So they are looking forward to start.
Yeah.
They are looking to, they're becoming women.
Yeah.
They're becoming mature. When will I mature?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so glad that this is being done, because you know, there are things we did growing up that we really, we didn't have anybody to tell us, but we were looking forward to them. I keep saying, I grew up in the village, and one of the most interesting things we used to do when we were approaching, you know, adolescent, you don't have breasts.
You're wondering why aren't they coming?
Yes, so you can imagine what we used to do. We used to put on some passion fruit, and you know, you're walking like this. And I even saw at some point my daughter wearing, you know, trying to put on my bra.
Yes.
I think what you're saying, if we do a lot of being positive, I
Yes.
think that's what I'm picking from what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes, yes.
Being positive about this cycle. And as you're saying, twende shule, what of those who cannot go to school?
Community. We have community health volunteers.
Okay.
And I work a lot through them.
Okay.
I have unschooled mothers. I have teenage pregnant. Okay, they went through teenage pregnancy.
Yeah.
We have our churches. And we have other communal activities. We have even Chief's Baraza.
Yeah.
We can talk. Chief hataki mambo za damu, but I just tell him, give me a chance.
Yeah.
Call for me both men and women, and we talk about this issue.
Okay.
Because if it's not talked about, then who will help us? We will remain at that level.
Okay.
Just to add on, even me, my own granddaughter, she tells me, I want to have breasts. She's 5 years old. She wants them. Yeah, so if she wants breast, then there's also something that comes along with
Yes,
him.
yes.
And then now there we can also do sex education so that they can take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Do you know that there is transactional sex?
Wow, wow, wow.
Transactional sex is when girls go out to have sex so that they can have pads. Sex for pads.
Where that one you'll pick up from there. We are taking a short break, dear viewers, and thank you for engaging us on social media. God bless you. We take a break and we'll be back shortly.
The Communications Authority of Kenya, through the Kuza Broadcasting Awards 2023, aims to recognize broadcasters who are shaping the future of broadcasting towards a creative economy by demonstrating excellence in their broadcasts. We strongly believe we are doing this. We wish to request you, our esteemed viewer, to vote Elevate TV as your favorite free-to-air TV station. To vote, SMS the word Kuza to 15601, free of charge. Kindly note that voting ends on 28th May 2023. Elevate TV truly thanks you for your continued support and the opportunity to serve you. Elevate TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
every man of God must remain focused in the ministry.
A pastor needs prayer, care, love, and encouragement.
You have to have a mentor, someone you can be able to obey, to love, to submit to.
What these pastors and leaders should do to create the right culture.
The most powerful thing a pastor can do with his people is teach them.
Being accountable to an authority is not weakness,
Yeah.
it's strength.
On Encourage a Pastor, we share real and authentic conversations that intend to give solutions to a pastor.
If there's a minister out there are character issues, don't push. Don't keep on ministering. You won't be fruitful.
In the body of Christ, certain wives have given up because probably they feel they haven't gotten the right leadership from their own husbands.
We need to learn to know our husbands after the Spirit.
I'm telling you, don't quit.
Catch Encourage a Pastor every Saturday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.
Welcome back, viewers, to Morning Digest. And this morning we are looking at normalizing menstruation. And as my guest has been telling us, there is need to create awareness that menstruation is a normal thing in life. And I believe that is the 2030 vision. That is what you are aiming at.
This year's vision.
This year's vision. And your slogan
Theme, yes.
is normalizing menstruation.
Yes.
And so we are discussing that. And before we took a break, dear viewers, my guest was telling us on the need to create awareness from the youngest to the eldest. There is need for us to come out and speak openly to avoid stigmatization and to eradicate the taboos that we have seen. And I know, viewers, you can see our table. We have some samples here. Later on, she will demonstrate to us on what the reusable pads are all about. But before that, karibu sana, and let's continue with our conversation. She mentioned something that we really want to hear. There is sex for pads. I think the last thing I heard sex was something, was sex for marks. This is in the
In the university.
Yes. So now tell us sex for pads.
Okay. Like I said before, parents are not speaking about menstruation.
Yeah.
And we've already talked about pads poverty.
Yeah.
So this is like survival for the fittest. I'm having periods. What do I do?
Yeah.
And men are tricky out there. So we have border people, we have kinyozi guys, we have the guys who sell things along.
Yeah.
So these girls just go to them.
Yeah.
I came across a story where a small girl was told, you should be married if you're having your periods. They don't have money to buy pads because let's say her father is working in Mjengo.
Yeah.
In this day and age, if you came home with 800 shillings, you're buying water, you're paying rent, you're doing all that. You cannot buy pads for your wife and your daughters. Say you have 3 daughters.
Yeah.
So these daughters, they go out. Yeah, it's called transactional sex.
Yeah.
So they end up getting pregnant. They get corona those days.
Yeah.
They get STDs,
Yeah.
not to mention AIDS.
Yeah.
They also get into premature marriages, which don't last. There's one lady I'm working with as a community health volunteer for youth.
Yeah.
She has had 4 children, 3 with different men. And because she was not able to take care of herself, so she would jump from one relationship to the other. She can't pay her rent, she can't be on her own.
Yeah.
And so this is why we are saying, if we normalize this thing, parents will not be afraid to buy pads in the supermarket for their children.
Yeah.
They will just buy,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it will be a common thing. There's one man who will be speaking in our launch. He buys pads for his wife. He doesn't have daughters. And so one time his wife was sick and he just had to man up.
Yeah.
And he went and bought pads.
Yeah.
So that transactional sex can be curbed
Yeah.
if the society drop off those things that make menstruation something that is it's like way out, yeah, it's a normal thing.
Okay. Before we continue, thank you for that. And actually, let me say, I had a conversation with a lady yesterday, and it really saddened me. And I was even telling her, this is so timely because tomorrow I'll be talking to a lady on menstruation. She had gone on a mission in Kilifi. And she told me yesterday that you won't believe what is going on there, that because of menstruation, girls opt to become pregnant other than have their menses because they cannot afford pads. You know, and it was really saddening yesterday. And she told me she has seen it hands-on, where they say, I want to be pregnant because I don't want to have periods. And as you're talking about it, I'm thinking, I've only met Beth, I've only heard you doing this. Are there other organizations that are doing this, devolved even in the villages? Because at this point, we are going to see a lot of, you know, teenage children, teenage pregnancy, marriages. Yeah, is it being done at a local level?
There are many NGOs that are doing.
Yeah.
And other maybe individuals, I would say that they have a shorthand.
Yeah.
They can only do this much.
Yeah.
But as I've said, a lot of advocacy is being done outside there, pulling in the government.
Yeah.
When the legislations were being done, I think it was from a male perspective. They don't really think that this is a big thing. So funds were not allocated.
Yeah.
And when budget cuts are being done, they start with the one for menstruation, especially for provision of pads in schools. So we can just say that partners can join up with people who are already there to help out.
Yeah.
Especially for Ahadi, that is what we are doing, to normalize it.
Yeah.
We call people from all over, and I believe even they're watching me now.
Yeah.
They should get in touch and make donations, come in to talk, ask how they can be involved. There's one particular lady, one time she met me, and she's just, she's an ordinary citizen. She sends me 500 shillings, 1,500 every month.
Yeah.
Without fail. So if everybody came in and said, we want to help, then we could be able to reach those girls.
Yeah.
And those girls who want to become pregnant, remember they will not be in school. Because in Kilifi, in the interior, who will want to return you back to school?
Yeah. And you already have a child.
You already have a child.
And you see, I'm thinking there's a need for even mental awareness, you know, this training that, yes, you will just solve that problem for 9 months.
Then
after 9 months, you'll go back. So will you get another child? So I really feel there's a lot of work that need to be done on menstrual education and the products that are available. I have a question on how, okay, what are the organization working on in, now, not necessarily your organization. This is Ahadi. Is there another organization that probably somebody hearing would wonder, is there another one that maybe is near me that is really doing the menstrual hygiene awareness?
There's no, apart from the NGOs, like I would mention World Village, Plan International, I'm not totally aware of any other that are maybe close to me or close to whoever.
Yeah. I think I was thinking in terms of local organizations that probably are doing this. But anyway,
there could be some. I need to find out also. But as we have found out within where we stay, so that we can synergize and reach out to more. Yes.
And I'm also thinking about what you're saying. Probably this might be the best, the way I'm leading at. Have you thought of devolving the Ahadi, the training that you're doing here, to the counties?
I told you ours is a social enterprise, and we have our limitations. But we have advertised for trainings in on our website. So anybody who comes and looks, we can always do a tailor-made training for them. I've trained in Kakuma. I've trained in Kisumu. I've trained in around, not only on menstrual hygiene management, also on pad making. We've talked about reproductive health,
Yeah.
and also sex education.
Okay.
Because it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a whole curriculum.
Yeah.
So anybody listening to me can reach out and we can come up with something that is suitable for them.
Okay. Actually, that was the question I really wanted you to answer, only that I asked in many ways, is that if you can go and train, because I'm thinking, if people can reach out and you go train them, then we would have a sustainable way of having this affordable and, you know, still hygiene, as you're saying, sanitary pads. Yeah, so now you have you are telling us about your pads, and I can see it is very well packaged.
Yeah.
You normally package them in this?
Yeah, this is our package.
Okay.
And it is also a wet bag.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it packs the pads. Once they are used and you're through, you keep it in this bag and return.
Okay.
But when you are on your periods, you'll also use it as a wet bag because you know they've burnt the plastic, the one-time plastic use.
Yeah.
So we have we have one packet which has 4 pads in it.
Okay.
Yeah. These 4 pads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have an instruction booklet also. It's not a booklet; it's a leaflet where we know they can know how to use and keep. So normally we have sessions. We go for distribution. Then we'll train them on how to wash them. So once a girl has used it, she will put it. This pad is just like a normal other pads which have wings.
Okay.
But the other pads they have glue, which they use to stick.
Yes.
But our pads, we have snaps, which help to put them secure. So once you're ready, you just place them under the panty like this. Okay. And then you snap on.
Okay. Oh, so this part goes under?
Yeah, that is the under part.
Oh, this one?
The soft part goes on top.
Okay.
You can easily identify, even by the feel.
Yeah, you're right.
So once you've done it that way, then you're ready to just adjust so that it fits you.
Okay.
And then you slip it on like any other panty. You can use it for up to 6 hours.
Yeah.
And then you can use it for up to 6 hours. And then you remove.
Okay.
So when you're removing, you be careful. You just remove it carefully. You fold in that sleeve and this one.
Okay.
So you fold this part inside, this one inside. Because I told you we have a waterproof something over there.
Yeah.
Then you fold.
Okay. Oh, and then I close. Wow.
Once you've closed it in, it will not dry.
Yeah.
It will remain hygienic.
Okay.
So you can keep it again in your wet bag. And you're good to go.
Yeah.
We didn't put pads over here so that it doesn't look okay. People want to maintain their privacy, personal privacy. So we just did Ahadi. But people who are working with us will know that these are Ahadi washable pads. And so you just keep it. So if you have to, will be enough for the day.
Okay.
You can wash them at night.
Okay.
You only need to soak them for 15 minutes. In these 15 minutes, you can be bathing.
Okay.
Once you've done, they're easy to wash. You don't have to rub. You swish them in water like this.
Yeah.
Then just press out.
Okay. So
once you press out, no, don't do that.
Oh, and I hear like this.
Yes,
okay.
you'll spoil your cover.
Okay.
The protection. You just press like that.
Okay.
Don't even wring this way. Then you rinse again.
Okay.
Once you've taken out the dirty water you wash, you can wash it with your clothes. The blood is pure, it doesn't smell if you don't keep it for unnecessarily long.
Okay.
And you're good to go. Okay. No wonder that little girl told me it's awesome, especially at night.
Wow. So even at night because I've had cases, especially the girls, they tend to have very heavy flows when they are just starting. So it won't leak with this.
It won't leak. Okay. You'll just feel that it's full.
Okay.
Like the normal ones. Nobody tells you now it's time to change, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
So you'll just know it's time to change.
Okay.
Then you change.
Okay.
But these are the regular size.
Okay.
I have another size.
Oh.
But this is like a school pack.
Okay. So you have the big size and
I have the big size. I have even a smaller size.
Okay.
And also we plan to do liners, which is just something that you can wear every day. You know liners, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I know them. Now, I have a question. When you talked about washing them, because, you know, ladies, sometimes we go to the extreme. I'll want to put Jik, I'll want to put Dettol, so that it doesn't smell.
No.
Yeah.
If you wash them when they are fresh, they don't smell.
Okay.
And jik spoils the, it's called flora fauna,
Yes.
the pH
Yeah.
of your canal.
Yeah.
So it becomes not good.
Okay.
They just need cold water, no hot water, because hot water will stick the stain. Just cold water and ordinary soap or Omo.
Okay.
I have a friend who just sticks them in Omo going to sleep. She doesn't even rinse. When she comes out in the morning, anafinya too heavy, and she rinses in clean water, and she's good to go.
Okay. Wow, that's amazing, and it's quite an interesting thing to learn. So, like, let's talk about something, a condition that really happens when our young girls are just about to have menses, the candidiasis that happens because of the hormonal, hormones that are triggered at the time, and then there's a lot of itching and all that. Now, my question is, at that particular time, if she uses this pad, and then she's having maybe candida at the time, because it happens around the time when you're having your menses and at times when you're having them. So I'm thinking about the hygiene part of it. That infection, I won't get it later.
If you clean them and hang them out in the sun, the sun is a natural sanitizer. Yes.
Okay.
And the shame and stigma part, we are going to go on and on, because when you hang them out, you shouldn't be embarrassed. People used to hang out even their panties and cover them with a towel.
Yeah.
So by the time they won't dry.
Yeah.
If you use them again, you're likely to get those infections. But if you let them dry in a windy place, even if there's no sun, the infection will be taken care of.
Okay.
Yeah.
And actually, as you're saying, when you hang them, one wouldn't even think that they are parts. They look like some. By the time somebody,
they just look like some things, your possessions.
Like a handkerchief. And I'm getting amazed. They are purple, and I'm wearing purple. It's like somebody.
But you know, purple is for royalty.
Thank you so much.
Purple is royal. White is purity.
Okay.
I must tweak in about the woman with the issue of blood.
Yes.
You see, they didn't consider her to be in her normal condition. And that's why she was put aside.
Yeah.
Yes. But if it were now, we all come to Jesus. Here, congregation, if your altar call come, everybody comes. Yes.
Even those who are having
thieves, whoever, conditions, everybody needs to come.
Yeah.
And so let the society, let the women menstruate with dignity.
Yeah.
Let them help.
Yeah.
If you find a woman out on the street, just politely tell her you have this, and lend her your coat to cover.
Yeah.
We saw the nominated member of parliament. She didn't mind.
Yeah.
Because that is it.
Yeah.
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 Nothing to be ashamed about. It's just that it has happened.
Yeah.
So when she had time, she went and changed.
Yeah. And I'm thinking now that you're talking about it, is there a way, like sometimes we can try to avoid this, leaking in public? Probably maybe, a menstrual and a hygiene or education awareness that you can know when you're about to get. So it doesn't have to happen to you when you're unaware.
That is the beauty of these pads.
Okay.
You'll always have them after you have finished.
Okay.
So just stick one in your purse. Yes.
Okay.
When it gets you unaware, people who are active, girls who are outgoing, they're not very careful to listen to their body. So they wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But if you're careful to listen to your body, you will know.
Yeah.
And even we have markers. Why are we celebrating on the 5th? Because a period is normally 5 days.
Yeah.
And why on 28th?
Yeah.
Because the cycle is 28 days.
Wow.
So you can mark.
Yeah.
You can mark, you can have markers. I don't have any, but I know the organization which have a circle, they have a bracelet.
Yeah.
So you can just count. If your days are 28, then you know that, because your periods won't come always on 28.
Yes,
the
true.
month is 30 days,
Yeah.
other months are 31.
Yeah.
So when you start, you can just count and mark and know that this is the day my period is likely to come. So it can come a day earlier, a day later.
Okay.
And so you'll have your own calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you equip yourself with something like this in your bag.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing, Madam Beth. And I must commend you for such an amazing and neat work. It actually looks so neat, and one wouldn't even imagine. And for our girls who love colors, you know, girls love nice pinky stuff. I think this would be very ideal. Now, I have a question. You sell?
I sell them.
You sell them at a pack like this?
A pack like this is for 500 shillings.
Okay.
It has 4 pieces, as I have shown you. Okay. But they last for 24 months.
Okay.
They can last even longer.
Okay.
For example, I don't know when I bought these clothes.
Yeah.
If I take care of them properly, they will last and last.
Okay.
And like the ones that I did makeshift, I use them to the end. Okay. And they're still there. Though with wear and tear, they thin out a bit, clothes become threadbare. Okay. So you need like to add so that now they're completely up to speed or up to date in their use. Yeah,
I'm thinking, Madam Beth, for somebody who might not be able to probably get the kind of quality that you've used to make them, is there another maybe probably fabric that you can commend for people to use? I'm thinking of tailors who might want to make.
In one of our trainings, we teach them how to feel for absorbent fabrics. So they can feel and know this one is absorbent. Yeah. So I can be able to use this. Yeah. Mostly cottons, but also we have mixed fabrics that are good, that can be absorbable. Yeah. Yes.
So, okay, that's good. And you're saying it's 500 for
a pack of 4.
Yeah. What of those now, because you are supporting, you want to support maybe the needy, those who cannot be able to afford. Yeah.
I've identified enough schools and enough communities. Yeah. I do fundraisers, and I also call people to come and partner. Yeah. I like stand as a middle person and interlink between the need and the meeting of the need. Yeah. So people who are seeing me can say, yes, I want to support the girls in my local village school. That's how we went to Ugenya. School called Uria. Yeah. The neighbors, the school is right opposite the home. Yeah. They said we'll be supporting girls in standard 6, 7 and 8. Okay. So when the 8s go, they will get the circle. Okay. They don't want to support girls in secondary school. So if you want to support a girl, you come to us. We have partnerships. We have forms that you fill in. Okay. And we tell you what is the best way forward. Okay. Yeah. And I have letters of school heads writing to me, kindly, madam, come and donate to us. Even today, I heard last night, do you donate? Okay. Because they saw me somewhere else again. We do donate, but when we also get wafadhili. Okay. Yeah, you sponsors.
Because I'm thinking for probably if you had the support and the government support, this can be something that can be included even in like the Form 1s when they are reporting. If you're saying it's 24 months, it can be made that part of, you know, when we go to school, you are checked whether you have the requirements. It can be checked. It can be a package that is checked that every Form 1 going to school, they have this package, and now the school will be, let me use, headache-free, that our girls don't have the pads.
That works. Yeah. There are schools like I've partnered with. They're my schools. Okay. So we always supplying pads, and they're able to go from standard 6, 7, 8 with the pads. So that works. Okay. And we'll work out with the government. Okay. I'm in talks. We are in the initial talks with the city county. Yeah. City council ya Kitambo. Yes. Yes. So we want to see what will happen.
Okay. Okay. Wow. I think I'm still there thinking, because I'm one person who goes to schools a lot. And I'm thinking probably this, it looks basic, but it's not basic. From what you've explained, it is not basic at all. And I'm thinking also maybe training, can it be devolved to the schools? Like now with the CBC, they are doing tailoring, you know.
There is a program that a certain organization, actually 2 organizations, they do it as a club in school, where there's a patron, a student, and a tailor come together, they come for training, and then like they expand it to the school. Yeah.
Okay. They now take up from there, and
They
it
take it up
becomes
from
like
there.
a training thing.
It becomes like a training. It
Okay.
becomes like a hobby.
Okay.
It's a club.
Okay.
But even boys are taught.
Yeah.
Yes.
And boys now, you've said they need also to be taught, and they can also be taught how to make this.
But boys are
Yes.
men, and they make suits. They're the designers.
Yes.
They stitch clothes.
Yeah.
They stitch matrosas. So why can't they stitch these ones?
Yeah. Thank you. I have a question. This is more hygiene, because we are looking at the hygiene day, which is ahead. And there are people naturally that have a particular smell. You know, I don't know what. I remember one time I have a doctor who called it a name, and my daughter picked the name, so she's always telling me about the body. When we're discussing, people have body odors. So how do you handle that? Because we are looking at hygiene.
Body odor, I think, is a disease.
Yeah, when it comes to menses, it's the menses that...
The menses are not the ones which are smelling.
Yeah.
It is the disease that is inside. Yes.
Okay.
Because normally, blood doesn't smell.
Okay.
Even the blood of animals.
Yeah.
But if you leave it a bit for like 2 to 3 days, then you see there is some reactions, germs, bacteria. I'm not so good in science and biology, but I heard one of the doctors speaking the other side, that it's so important to clean yourself properly, so that, and also, like I said, don't use those detergents that are strong, that will spoil the natural protection that you have in your vaginal canal.
Yeah.
Then that is how germs will grow and bacteria.
Okay.
But if, you know, even there are people who take out smell from inside, I think it's a disease from inside the stomach.
Yeah.
And the same for our lower parts.
Okay. And thank you. And because we are looking at the menstrual hygiene and the flow that comes, and we know there are side effects that comes with the heavy menses and all that, what are some of the recommendations that you can tell people probably to take, or maybe at the time that you're having your menses, to be able to boost your health? Because we've had cases of people struggling with anemia, even blacking out.
Yes.
Yeah, as we are coming
There
to a
is
close.
research that was going on, and it's a pilot in several schools.
Yeah.
They give a pill, a tablet called Ferox iron or something.
Yeah.
So together with that.
Yeah.
So students, when they come, they're given vitamins and they're given that supplement.
Okay.
So they're good to go.
Okay. So once one take a supplement, at least they are good to go. And it is prescribed by the doctor?
It is prescribed by the doctor, but that one, all the girls in the school were given.
Okay.
The menstruating girls every month.
Yeah.
So it helps reduce those cramps.
Yeah.
It helps reduce the headaches. It helps reduce... they're able to concentrate and even do better in school, by the way.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Wow.
It's a research that has gone on. I've just forgotten the name of the organization,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
that helps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's true, because they struggle a lot with the cramps and...
And especially when they don't have good nutrition. It is in Ukambani, that thing. And we were told about in the last menstrual MHM day in Ukambani.
Okay.
We were attending a function.
Okay.
Yeah, and there was in Makueni,
Okay.
there was that research. It really changed the whole scene.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, just in 1 minute, because we've talked about the pads, you've told us there is the pill that one can take. What about the nutrition aspect? Maybe...
Yeah, poverty, lack of proper nutrition.
Okay. What can we take at the period that we are... What kind of foods?
Just proteins.
Okay, proteins.
A lot of protein, fruits for vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, it's so good to have you. It's been amazing, and I love what you're doing. And before we wind up, looking at that camera, we are looking at normalizing menstruation. What is your parting shot to our audience?
My parting shot is that we'll be having a day. Ahadi is launching on the 26th in celebration of this day. We'll have a lot of activities.
Okay.
It will be at Westview Park in Westlands. Okay. Tomorrow. Oh, yes, tomorrow, from 8 to 10. So I will welcome you to come. We are having people from all sectors. We have people from NEMA, we have people from Kanjo, we have people from education. So if you come, you'll listen, and you can become a part of this great movement, so that girls and women are not ashamed during their time, and that they can have better opportunities and fight on same footing with men. So come and support us.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you so much, Madam Beth. And I know you will be speaking on how you continue with the conversation on how this can be normalized and made a normal part of life. And I see your slogan this year is "We are committed."
Yes.
And no more limits. So viewers, we come to the end of the show this morning. We've been looking at normalizing menstruation, and it is just a part of life. It is not a disease, it's something that is normal. Actually, my guest said when you don't have them and you are meant to be having them, now there's an issue. You are sick. So it's been wonderful having you. I believe you can get Madam Beth maybe on her social media handles. That is on Ahadi reusable pads. That's where they can get you. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Remember, menstruation is a normal thing. You don't have to victimize, you don't have to hide, you don't have to cover. It is a blessing even to have them. God bless you. See you next time.